dokie 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 do. Here we are. Hey, we're back at it. I don't have my background image on though. Where's it at? Let me see if I can find it. It's gotta be the right one. Right? Where's the one that's this guy? Go up. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we look official. Officially back in repair mode. Okay, so 1975, right? This is 1975. Line drive. Pitch and bat. Not really a pinball. It's a pitch and bat. But we're going to start restoration on this one. This one is ours, so yes, I'm definitely not getting paid for this because it's ours. So today, this afternoon, I think I want to take preliminary stuff apart. Kind of go back over where I was the last time I turned this thing on, which was a long time ago. But kind of see where we are. And one of my biggest problems is that we haven't been working on it in a while, and it's been in pieces, which is annoying because that means we have to figure out how some of it goes back together. And I have pictures that I took, and Brent has pictures that he took because he took some of this apart. But we're just start basic. This is the stuff that was just sitting on here. These are some of the guards that go down below the play on the play field. And I'm just going to put them on my workbench, and hopefully we'll figure out where they go. They do not appear to be original. They appear to be redone in some sort of plexiglass. So I'm thinking of maybe getting them done again in a better, either a better plexiglass so it's not so jagged looking, just better cuts, or maybe a different color with some designs. So then we have some screws on top of this paper towel. I'm not really sure what they're for. I'm assuming that they are for this game, so this is all going to go on the workbench for now. Okay. And these are the buttons that I will be cleaning these like big time. Let's see, on the back, looks like basic switches that you would find on any pinball machine. So we'll clean those. We'll clean all this off. It's just the dirt that built up over the years. We'll make sure the wiring is not all jacked up. And we got to put the whole thing back together eventually. Brent cleaned this and dyed it, but he wants to do it again. So we're going to have to redo the control panel again before we put all this stuff back on. But we did some other stuff. We did some chrome work so that the actual buttons are nice and shiny. But these things, I mean, yeah, that'll be easy to clean off. There's springs in here. We just want to make sure we get all this grease, all this old crud. We'll use alcohol, obviously, to clean that off. We got a tiny little Jones plug. It's not too bad. It's got a little bit of I would say some sort of residue or buildup on it that I can kind of get off there with the sandpaper. But for now, I'm just going to set the controls on the desk, and we'll clean those in a little bit. Because I don't know where I left off on this game. I kind of originally got pushed into doing it when I didn't want to start it. But now I feel like I really want to do it now. So we're going to take the control panel off, which is a nice solid piece of wood. It's got this, I don't know, it's got like a veneer on top of it, like a textured veneer on there. It's not too bad. It was a lot worse when we first started, but Brent's already cleaned it once and dyed it once. He just wants to do it again. So it's nice and shiny. So let's set that back here for now. And some of it I'm going to have to wait on Brent to do because that's what he wants to do. He does a lot of the paint work and the cleaning up. So we'll just take the glass out right now. So interestingly enough, it's a wider body than the other pinballs that we had, and the glass is shorter because it's the way it's designed. We're going to take the glass out and out of the way. It feels really heavy too, this glass. This does not feel like normal pinball glass. It's got to be though, but it feels heavy. All right, so I'm going to set it out of the way on a nice, safe spot on a rubber mat. It's on a rubber mat out of the way, so I'm not going to dink any quarters. All right, this piece I'm going to take out again. This is the piece that goes up into the center. That's how you try to get your home run. The ball goes up here and it hits a target in the back. Again, super dirty. We'll clean all that off with alcohol. This piece of tape, this was an addition that somebody did. Probably the guy who worked on it before me, who did a really good job. He wasn't too concerned about making it original looking. He was just trying to make it working. But we're going to try to make it original. So we're going to take that off and do it better. Clean these pieces really good. At least there's no rust. There's no visible rust on anything. Just clean that off. So I'm going to set him aside for now, probably on my workbench. And if you've never seen a pitch and bat before, it's basically baseball. You're playing baseball in a pinball cabinet. These are my schematics. They're original schematics, but at least, unlike the Mayfair, they're all in one piece, and I can read them. So, I don't think I need to print out any more new schematics. And that's another good thing. Being a Williams game, they don't hold the copyrights like Gottlieb. So if I did want to, I'm pretty sure I can find these on the internet and just download new schematics. So we'll set the schematics out on one of these other games for now. Just to get them a little stretched out so we can start reading. Schematics are obviously a little bit different than Gottlieb schematics, but not too bad. There's a fluorescent bulb in there. We're going to probably change it to LED. I think we already changed the bulb itself to LED. This was just, what's going on over there? It's just a piece of cardboard left over, so I don't know what it is. All right. This piece right here, this part goes up here in the back. However, this again was something that they redid it. So it's not supposed to look like this at all. It's supposed to be green stripes with 2 orange targets. What the person did on here was they glued some baseball cards on here. So there's supposed to be the 2 targets on either side. And this is where I'm going to do my graphic design work. I can actually recreate what it's supposed to look like. But I also want to get a new piece of plexiglass cut, and we'll save these metal pieces so that it'll look original, because it's not supposed to be this blue color. I commend them for trying, but that's not what it's supposed to look like. So we're gonna make a brand new one, nice and clean and the right colors. There's lights back here that I assume when you hit the home run target in the back, that'll light up the 2 lights that's supposed to be in these areas. So when I do my graphic designs, the bulbs are out here too. When I do my graphic design, I need to make sure that my targets line up exactly where those bulbs are supposed to be, and it'll look nice and sharp. But yeah, so we're going to redo all of this. This is another thing that I wouldn't do on somebody else's machine, but this is ours and we want it to look nice. So we get down to the playfield here. We got some things. Oh, yep. Instruction manual. I ordered this from Pinball Resource because, I so wish the Mayfair had one. I wish that they all had a manual, but Mayfair was old enough it only had schematics. The good thing about this is Williams. So every single relay is accounted for, and it tells you which switch and which wires go to and where they go. That is such a help. That helped me so much on the OXO. It's going to help me a lot on here, but we got line drive, we got the schematics. This is some pin striping that Brent bought. So on the bottom here, you can't really see because they're way down here, you have your single, your out, your double, triple, double, out, single. The very bottom of them is worn off naturally because that's where the ball hits. So we're going to clean them up as best we can, and Brent's going to put on this green pinstriping on the bottom to kind of help protect it but make it look pretty good. It's just basic switches. So there are lights, I think. No, there may be lights in the back, but there's at least the 2 lights there. I think I can pull that thing out, but pinstriping for that, we got that later. These things we already got redone. These are the actual buttons, and we got them chromed, so they go in the control panel. So we actually got them nice and chromed out. The original, what we had was all rusty and nasty, but we actually got a place in El Paso to chrome these out, so they're really nice and shiny and beautiful. Again, only because it's our machine are we going to go through all this trouble. So we're going to keep these protected and out of the way so we don't drop them. We also got the bolts that go into the control panel. We chrome those too. Make it all nice and shiny. Now we get down to the play field. So unlike a regular pinball machine, there's really nothing here. What we have a little bit of wear on here. The ramp goes up this way. That's where this thing locks on. There's a little bit of wear down by the home plate. We're going to do our best to try to do something about that. Probably put some Mylar, paint it in, put some Mylar. This little flap, middle flap, that's where the ball comes out of from underneath. So the ball shoots from underneath here, just like in baseball. And then your batter bats the ball. So we're going to work. That doesn't feel good either. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. When was the last time I took this playfield out? A long time ago. Let's see if I remember how to take it out of here. Yeah, it's not locked. All right, so another good thing about, hey, what's going on? Hi, Octocris, how you doing? Good thing about this playfield, because there's nothing on it, on the underside there is a bunch of stuff. At least I can lay it on its face and be able to work on it. So I want to lay it across OXO here, if I can get it out without screwing anything up. All right, I'm going to set it up a little bit. This one's got rails that go all the way across. So basically, I'm doing pretty good. I am happy to be moving on to a new game. So here's the bottom. We've got some steppers on here. We've got a few relays. And we got the ball chute for the pitcher. There's a dial. Oh, you can't see it right there. There's a dial up here that does your bat strength. You turn this and it gives how much strength the bat's going to give out. There's a big giant coil over here for your bat. It's pretty greasy looking. We're going to clean all that off. So yeah, you don't have all the stuff on top of the playfield like a pinball, so it's all on the bottom. And there's a lot down here that needs to be TLC'd. But what I'm going to do is, not get my Jones plug caught. Careful. All right, my Jones plug was caught a little bit. Lift it up, and we're going to lay it across on the OXO for now. And I might get another table to be able to work on it, but such a nice change of pace when it comes to this. So I don't have to have the playfield leaning up. I don't have to have it kind of laying on. I don't have to worry about anything on the front. I can work on this, all these steppers as they are. Some of them, they don't seem too bad. I can see the paper here on this one is a little burned. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it fires a lot or it's had trouble in the past. But I'm going to make sure that they are not tight at all. They're going to get function. So this is just a reset, I think. Yeah, that's just a reset coil. It must have got stuck on at some point. So yeah, all these things, they're fairly clean. The guy did an amazing job of cleaning it, but it went right into storage and never got played. So I have to go over it again. All the Jones plugs are nice and shiny. They absolutely have no wear or rust on them. It's really nice. So that's what I want to do is basically I don't want to get too far into trying to adjust anything until I can get it started. Down here is pretty basic, pretty much like you'd expect. We got a lot of relays. We got a lot of switch stacks. Williams lays their switch stacks on the side. So unlike Gottlieb, where you have the little pin that you can pull them out and you can look at the switch stack, these are all on the sides that you can't pull out so easily, but at least you can get in there and you can clean them. There may be a couple of them that are doubled up. Some of the switch stacks are doubled up and may get a little bit harder to get down in there, but I think it's pretty easy. This is the score motor in the Williams. This, when I first tried to turn it on, it was frozen, it was stuck. But I think it's freed up enough. If it's not, I'll get in there and actually clean out the actual motor. But that's that. I have some brand new balls. These are the balls that go in it. It's not a standard pinball size, they're small ones. So these are the brand new balls that are going to go into this game. I think it holds 10. It's supposed to have 10. I have to look that up. But I ordered 10. These were the baseball cards that were in here. They're not going to be worth anything because they were glued, but they're from the 90s, I think, 1991. Yeah, this is what the guy had. He had glued them in here. So we have these two baseball cards that, I don't know these guys because I don't follow baseball. I don't know. We have a myriad of stuff in the coin box, including some old switches. It doesn't look old, too old. It doesn't look broken. Maybe it's just an extra one. I don't know. So we have that. This game actually has a switch, a power switch, so that's good. The one thing that I already did is I made it a 3-prong. I did that before, so that we should be fine there. So, we got some standard adjustments down here. I think they're all labeled pretty good. There's where our Jones plugs. There's the Jones plug for the back box. Let's see. Grand Slam adjustment. See, I gotta go in the rules and figure out what that means. Grand Slam score adjustment. Extra innings, credit, normal, conservative. I don't know what that means. You can do a normal or conservative play, whatever that means. We'll figure it out as we go along. And we got some screws here that probably should not have been laid loose. Fuses are all okay. Very bottom one's just a spare fuse. We got a tilt switch. We got our bob tilt, just like a regular pinball. There is a ball tilt that doesn't have the ball in it, but that's okay. We don't really use a ball tilt anyway. But I think it's not in too bad a shape. It just was in storage for like 20 years, so it's got to go over as if it was. So what we're going to do, the one thing I did is I took the score thing off, and there on the side of here there's a stepper on the score motor on the side, and I did not know how it lines up, and I had to wait until I got the manual to figure out what the heck it was. But all it is this it? Slow relay, run flashlight. So basically what this stepper on the side is, it just controls some lights in the back box. Which we can get into that now too. We can look at the back box. We got a little bit of flaking on the back of the glass. We want to be careful with it. Of course we have our little feature of the moving baseball players. I think Brent has already put his LED lights in. Yes, he has. So this is an LED bulb. Not instead of the fluorescent, it's LED. We have our replay. It's down to 0, down to nothing. Little score reels, little baby score reels. They're so tiny. It's little. We'll go back there and look. We have this. This whole box slides out because I got to get in here and check the motor that the guys run. So the guys run around the bases. I want to make sure that that's not ganked up with grease and all that old stuff. I don't want to blow it out. Blowing it out might get some of these to fly off, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure I can read all that stuff. It's not too dirty. But for preliminary checks, we could just kind of check and see how dirty the switches are and see what we're up against. I'm going to guess that they're not too dirty. I just probably just been sitting. They should be fine. But we will check anyway. The back box here has got a lot of other stuff here to look at too. There's more Jones plugs and all that stuff. What did I do with it? There we go. I need to find what I did with my alcohol. So basically, if I can get to the point I would probably get to is just turning it on without the playfield. But wait, hold on. This thing comes out too, right? Yeah. Let's see if I can take it out without there being a problem. Oh yeah, there's one Jones plug on it. So here's our little singles and our outs. It's big, but it's basic. So you just got switches on top. That's it. Ball hits it, activates the switch. There is not a lot going on there. Super, super basic. And then we got 2 bulbs and 1 home run switch that's still here. Only problem is just being able to get in there and see. There's some cleaning that has to be done there too. Then the ball will fall and go down a track and then heads its way back to the center. So the way that this track is on here, we have the ball, whichever, if you get an out or if it goes back, will just fall down and then go down the track and land back down to the center. So you have the balls to shoot again. I don't know how it keeps count. I don't really know any of that stuff yet. Still working on understanding it. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen it worked on the internet or been turned on the internet. Let's just see where we are with the all the switches. See how dirty they might be before we get into the things. I do like how they look nice and straight. Like nobody is really monkeyed with these. They're very obvious which ones are make breaks, which ones should be open closed. Just gonna start here. Just check this guy. Yeah. Pretty much as I expected, there's really nothing going on. The best I'm going to be doing, I think, is getting the dust. Just the basic level of dust. And I haven't done any of these adjustments. I don't want to do anything. 1 play, 10 quarters. Yeah, all these adjustments. I don't know what they for. I don't know what they for, but they're not going to get touched by me. Yeah, these switches are nothing like the Mayfair switches. I think maybe another benefit of them laying sideways like that is that the dust may not be covering them as bad. How about up here? Let me see one of these guys. Well, I got a little off on that one. So it's just going to be beneficial to just do all of them. So I'm not going to adjust them. I'm just going to go and touch through all these. This one's a little dark and burned. So what is this one? Yeah, obviously. So if you're going to have one that's dark and burned, it's going to be the lock relay. And it is. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just, this is the one that stays on the entire time. This one here is the latch relay. That's got the game over, I believe, on it. So that one locks on and then shuts off. But at least these ones don't stay on the whole time. They turn on to lock, and then the other one pulls it to pull it off. That should be the game over. There's another one here. Maybe there's two different ones. Luckily, I have the book that'll tell me. Motor service switch, on, off, so you can mess with the motor while it's on, which I don't want to do. If anything, I can see if the score motor is going to turn on me, which it should. What do we have for power? Oh, I gotta grab my thing. I got set up to play pinball. I forgot my little setup of repairing pinball. Let's see what happens if we plug it in. All I'm looking for right now is the score motor turning, which it should. There it goes. That's set up right. And our super bright LED going on here. So that's all I want. Let's turn a little bit. Yeah. So our score motor is turning. That's good. A lot better than it was when I first turned it on months ago, and it was just going. I think this will be cool. This will be a fun one once it's done. I don't know how exciting it'll be to play, but let's see, where do I want to go? So systematically, what is this? Oh, that's probably for the, yeah. That's for the controls, which I need to pay attention to how they get set up. Button over here, coin door. I think the coin door is all set up there, yeah. There's actual coin mechs in there. My OXO, they put the guy tried to move the wire to stop it from taking quarters, and he ended up just twisting it all weird. Not a good thing. We've got start button over here. Got a credit light. Got some more errant screws. Let's get those out of the way. I've got these wing nuts. I know where those go. Those hold the thing on. That. So that's the control panel. Yeah. Start motor's working. That's good. That's something to start out with. Of course it is. It's a score motor. First thing, start motor. Score motor. I don't know how the back box lights go on. They have to wait until the rest of it's on. Let me see with. Yeah. The only thing is, like, the sound in the back is a solid state sound, so it actually like makes noises. The speaker, I believe the speaker's under here somewhere. Yeah, speaker's in the back corner over here. Way in the back corner, there's a speaker for the sound. It's got 3 sound effects. Hey, how you doing? Very nice. Did you ship the other game out? You put many hours into that game. Yes, the Mayfair went home. I got it working, and the guy came and picked it up. So yes, it is gone. This is our machine. This is one of ours. This is our pitch and bat line drive that I'm working on now. But yeah, I'm happy the Mayfair is done. It was a challenge, and it wasn't really worth the money. I also know too that I don't want a Mayfair. If a Mayfair comes up for sale, it was not very fun to play. It's not, you don't have a lot of control. So I was like, at least I got that experience, but got rid of it. So I'm just going to try to clean the dust off of these things real quick. This should take like no time at all. They seem to be all nice and flat. They seem to be gapped really well. This one is a little dark, but it's a thicker pad. Yeah, nowhere near the dust and dirt. I'm just worried. My biggest concern on not turning it on all the way are the steppers and some of these gears that just seem to be very, not just grimy, but they sticky, gooey. You know, I just want to check all that stuff before I go full bore with turning it on all the way with the board in it. Oh, that one had a little bit of dust on it. What's going on? Hey, did you just acquire this game? No, this one was part of the owners of the restaurant. He's had this one for forever, and I remember seeing it. I never saw it working, but I remember seeing it. They had it at their hangar. They have a hangar that they use for storage, an airplane hangar. And I remember seeing it back there like 15, 16 years ago. And all I kept hearing from them was, oh, it works. Yeah, it works. Like, well, then why don't we have it in here? So once I started learning how to repair pinball machines, we finally brought it over, but other projects got in the way. But I got to a point where I can do it again. The other one that was out there was, you can't really see it. Well, you can see it on this camera if I do this. Right, back here in the corner, there's a Jolly Joker. I'll show you. Which is not really, yeah, very back corner. This Jolly Joker, it's a roll down game. This was another one that was out at the airplane hangar. It's from 1953. It works. It's not worth playing, but at least I got it working. But these two were sitting out at the airplane hangar just doing nothing. I'm like, well, bring them down. I can at least get them working or something, you know? So I did that. And so we've had it for a while. The guy who worked on it before it went into storage is a really trusted guy of ours that used to do arcade stuff in this area. So I'm pretty sure he did a good job before it went into storage. But that's 20 years, almost 20 years sitting out in an airplane hangar in the heat and dust and critters. And it just needs to be gone over before I try something. Someone most likely sprayed something on the gears. Yeah, you know, I don't know what it is, but there is just a lot of gooiness, especially on the bat. There's a lot of gooey stuff going on. And I'm going to get in there and clean that all off with alcohol before I really want to turn it on. I don't want anything to get stuck, or might as well do it the right way. I'm not in a hurry with this. This is our game. It's not going anywhere. I think these score reels are just so cute. They're so small. Take those out. Check them out. So yeah, spend some time learning about a pitching bat. I do like the fact that I can lay it on its face and not mess anything up. That's cool. Let's go back here. All the problems with the Mayfair that were just by neglect and somebody getting in there that didn't know what they were doing, that is not going to be the issue here. We're just going to clean it up from storage. This is why I told the guy with the Mayfair, if it was just about cleaning, yeah, I can clean it in a day. That's fine, I'll do it really quick. But, man, the problems arose quickly in the Mayfair. So many problems. Not to mention the label for all the relays was just printed, was stapled in backwards. That took forever to figure that out. But I got nice footage of the Mayfair before we left, before it went home. The other problem I had, what's up? What year? Late 60s? This, no, the line drive is 75. It actually has a solid state sound in it. So yeah, we actually don't have one from the 60s. We kind of skipped it. The Jolly Joker is the 50s. All the other electromechanicals is the 70s, and then we have some pinballs from the 80s. We have from the 90s. I guess we're missing the 2000s because our Iron Maiden and Jurassic Park are like 2019, 2018. So we need one from the 2000s. But we got every decade of pinball or something related to pinball except for the 1960s and further back. So yeah, I did get scared on the Mayfair when the guy took it back to his house, and he called me after he set it up. After I spent all this time showing him how to set it up properly, and he called me and he said, "I think it's not supposed to be making this sound," because he said it was buzzing really loud. And what I told him was, I told him when he was here, it's like, yeah, it's going to buzz a little bit because the 130-volt hold relay was brand new, and you may hear it buzzing a little bit. That's no big deal. But he's like, no, I don't think that's it. And he sent me a video, and it was the most god-awful buzzing, like crazy buzzing, and the ball was in the playfield, and nothing was scoring. And I'm like, what? What did you do? You just took it home. And so I told him to take pictures of it, open it up, be careful, take pictures, make sure nothing fell when you transferred it from your car to the house, make sure nothing got in the way. And he sent me all these pictures of the inside of the Mayfair, and it looked fine. I couldn't find anything like that could have fallen. And then I called him back. I'm like, did you reset it? Did you turn it on and reset it? He's like, well, before I sent you the pictures, I noticed that the power cord was laying across those switches. And I said, the power cord, the one that I told you that I made extra long to pull it out to the knot, was laying across all the switches on the bottom of the playfield, or on the bottom of the game, and it was blocking everything. And so I told him over the phone, like, is it moved now? Yes. Turn the game back on. And I can hear it over the phone. It all came on normally. I'm like, oh, don't break this game right after I got it fixed, man. And all it was that was it. He did not pull the power cord out to where I told him to. There was a little knot I put in the power cord. I said, don't go beyond this. This is where the power cord goes. He left it all in there, and it was laying across the switches. Like, oh, my gosh. But then he sent me a video later that night of his kids playing it, and he said thanks, and I said thank you, and I am done with the Mayfair. But, oh, the world of trying to explain to people who have no idea about pinball, what's going on, in a way that's... I guess you would say layman's terms. I guess I haven't gotten that down. What's going on there, Fatwood? How you doing? So, I need to learn to explain it better to somebody who doesn't know anything about pinball, apparently, if it's going to be inside their house. Because a lot of them don't understand, and I told them the best thing that you can do for this pinball is to keep playing it. It's the one lesson I learned by watching you. Watch the cables and power cords. Thank you. Yes. Know where they're going. Know where... Any of that. Oh my gosh, the noise. If I could... I can't show you the video. It would not give you the sound of the noise of the buzzing going on. That was crazy. But yeah, know where the cables are. Make sure nothing's getting snagged. All these Jones plugs. Like, even when I pulled the playfield out of here, one of these tried to catch on the corner of this thing. So you just got to be really careful of those things. And especially if you travel. When you travel, anything, video games, pinball machines, anything that is like this, if you take it from one place to another, you have to check it over first before you plug it in at your house. Open it up, make sure nothing is shifted in the when you moved it around, make sure like a key didn't fall or a quarter didn't fall somewhere. Go over it, be safe before you turn on the machine. And that's the sad thing too, I can move a game from one side of the room to the other side of the room, and then problems develop. So they're very touchy for as much as they expect little kids to be on there and banging and shaking them around, they are so touchy when you move them. And just be careful when it's in your house that you're not get caught up. Oh, that's a lock relay. This one locks. I like these low locking ones. The differences between the Gottliebs and the Williams, I mean, you can see the common stuff, but their design of how all the Williams switches are on their sides and the Gottlieb ones are straight up and down. The score motor, how the score motor is these reels that go like this on a Williams, and on the Gottlieb it goes around the disc like a record. Just the differences in builds was very interesting. I'm interested to see when this is all done. I've seen YouTube videos, but I'm interested to see when this is all done when you're playing, because the one guy pitches the ball, and it just comes out of the pitcher's mound. So it's all about, I guess, the timing. I guess you can play by yourself, obviously, but it's the timing of the ball and hitting it. And I want to hear these sound effects that are on here. It's cool. But I have a thing about what's going on? I'm having a furnace put in, and I have to move my games. I know I'm going to have issues that comes with the territory. Yeah. It's just, you have issues, but you can lessen those issues if when you move them, you just check, make sure nothing shifted in the move. It could be something simple like, oh, I didn't move the bob tilt got caught on something, and now it wants to be stuck thinking that it's tilting, and it's not. You just got to make sure all those little things. Yeah. Some people that I've seen on Pinside that have never had a pinball machine in their house, I think they think they're like television sets. You just take them home, plug them in, watch it, whatever, and then that's it. It's like, no, there's a little bit more to a pinball machine. You got to know. You got to know what you're doing a little bit. At least the basics. And I would compare it to, like, in your car, you may not know how to change out the oil, which you should, but you may not know how to change out the oil or fix an alternator or whatever, but you need to know how to change out the windshield wiper fluid, how to put new lights in, your turn signal lights. There are basic things you should know about your car, too, because you don't want to take it to a shop for little things. And there's so many times on Pinside I'll see some new guy commenting, like, I don't even know how to do this. I'm like, well, for one, thank you for finding Pinside, because that'll help you. But two, you need to know it. You need to know it with pinball machines. You need to know how they work. That's the only reason that we have so many now in the arcade. Yeah, most people have no idea. Yeah, they have no idea. The only reason we have pinball in this arcade is because I learned how they work and how to work on them. That is the only reason, because what would be the point? If one broke, who am I going to call? Somebody and then spend money I can't afford? No. Come on, buddy. Give me some light in this room. This one's got a lot. So there's a few of them that are double stacked relays, but and what I'm doing right now of cleaning all the relays, this is something that you don't do if you've never done it before. All you want to do if you've never done it before is work on the things that aren't working. Don't create more problems because you're just trying to clean it like, shotgun clean it if you don't know what you're looking at. Because that's what I did on my first one. I only messed with what I needed to until I knew what I was looking at. All these relays over here. All the Williams relays have these blue paper on them. So these ones here that are all browned out, they must be firing a lot. What is that one? Number 3 relay, number 4. I don't know what they mean, but these must be firing a lot to have the paper be so brown. Thought you were done. Hey, dude, I'm working on my own game now. I'm done with other people's games, unless they're going to pay me properly. But now I'm working on my own games. This is what I like to do. This is my whole purpose. I'm crappy at playing them. I need to get better at playing them. But this is what I love to do. This is what I love about the hobby, is getting them to work. Which, I'm just cleaning this one right now, which is not too bad because it's not too dirty. So yeah. If somebody wants me to work on their machine from now on, I definitely have a different pricing structure than I did on the last one. But this is our own machine. This is ours that we're bringing back to life. And that's it. I like the problem solving of it all, Even the video games, when I got video games working, I get to be the point, it was like, okay, they're working, I'm done with it now. Somebody play it, because I'm not very good at playing it, but I'll fix it. They interest me then that way. Ooh, I don't like that one. This one over here is not. This one has a gap that I don't really like. I'm not going to mess with it yet because I don't want to do anything until I turn it on and have it going. But I don't really like the gap on that switch. It doesn't seem like it's pulling far enough away. I just have to keep that in mind so that the next time, so that when it's on and I start to learn more about it, I know where I'm looking. Like, hey, there's that one switch where the gap was all funky. Let's see if that's the switch I'm talking about. So this one's got a double stack going on, which makes me think of maybe having like a double stack burrito or something. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm hungry. But again, if you go back to my Mayfair streams of me cleaning the switches, I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, that's dark just because of the alcohol, but there's no black on any of these. These are nice and clean. Nice and clean. Oh, man. Thought I was done. Dude, you have no idea. After this, we have our Devil's Dare, which we got to do. And then I have the Star Trek. And then I have Hyperball. I have Rapid Fire. And those are just the pinball type machines. Then I have arcade games galore. I've got my Tempest. I've got Donkey Kong. I've got all sorts of arcade games that need to be worked on that I have neglected because I've gotten so interested in pinball lately. And then all the ones in the arcade right now, they just need to be turned on occasionally so they keep working. We turned on I like Devil's Dare. Oh, you like Devil's Dare? Yeah, we just got that in earlier this year, so I haven't really gotten to play it, but I cleaned it already, and as I was cleaning it, I got to discover Devil's Dare. I'm like, how many slingshots are in this game? There's like 5 slingshots in this game. But the graphics, the playfield graphics are beautiful. That devil and so beautiful looking. So we only got a few more down here. We don't have a lot. We also have like tomorrow night. If I can set a goal for tomorrow night, is to get it up and running enough so I can launch a ball or something. But I need to get through these steppers. The steppers are the big thing for me. I want to make sure that they're firing correctly. Even the scores were sounding, the score reels were feeling a little tight when I was turning them back down to 0. I think I could I could check that. That could be something I can check today. We can check to see if it resets to 0. Because I think it'll do it without the playfield plugged in. And I like the difference I like on the Williams. It's easier to access the score reels on how to turn them, to actually manually turn them. The Gottlieb ones were so hard to get to, but the Williams ones are in the back. And you can grab on them real quick. This is a nice big long relay. I love that some of these are like so big compared to like the small ones that were all in the Gottlieb. Like the Gottlieb had all like these size, but there's like these really big switch stacks in here. It's kind of cool. This one is not. Oh, that's a normally closed. If this was a dirty machine like the Mayfair, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing of using the same card in every switch. I would be changing out the switch or changing out the cardboard so that I don't transfer dirt from one to the other. But like I said, this one is just about, we're just getting some of this dust off, if there is any. We're not adjusting anything. All right. I think I got all of them. I may have missed a couple of them when talking, but they all seem fairly clean anyway. The switches on this thing. Let me just check the switch, like a switch on here, to see if they are if they're grimy, if they need to have more attention. Down in here, it's normally, there we go. Well, I don't know. So these are normally closed switches? No, they're normally open switches. There's a little bit of dirt coming off of that, and it may be, again, because it lays vertically over horizontally. Yeah, there's a little bit coming off of those ones. So we'll really clean that. But let's just check, as I'm running out of time anyway, because this is just a work break. I got to go back to work. Let's just check to see if the score's reset. So I'm going to pump them up. And if you pump them up to 1, right? Come on, dude. Get up there. 1, 1, 1. Come on. Go. There we go. There we go. They're so tiny. It's kind of hard to see, but oh, those are already on 2. But we'll just see if these reset. It should do it without the playfield in it. It should. Let's find out. And then, oh, we're already on. Let's turn it off. Turn it back on. Let me do this. Oh, they're not resetting. Maybe it needs the playfield. Yeah, score motor is resetting, but not the back box. So it might need the playfield for that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see. So that's all that down there. So tomorrow night, maybe in the interim, I'll work on these ones, get these guys cleaned up, and I'll try to look at some of this. But we'll get maybe working on some steppers, and we'll actually, instead of like we did with the Mayfair where we just kind of cleaned them, we'll get in here and make sure these steppers are nice and clean. I'm going to check all the coil sleeves, make sure they're nice, make sure that the plungers are nice and clean, and make sure that when they function, they're not wanting to gum up at all. Because you never know. There could be some sort of lubricant that was used in here and is going to cause all sorts of problems. But these steppers are pretty easy. I did a bunch of these in the OXO. And then this little dial up here is kind of cool. The power for the power for the bat. That's kind of cool to look at too. So we'll do that tomorrow night after I get off work at around 6 o'clock. Get in here, and hopefully by the end of the stream tomorrow we can plug some stuff in and turn it on. Maybe see where we're at and go from there. It shouldn't be a lot of work. Should be fairly easy and get some line drive pitch and bat happening here. But thank you guys. Thanks for watching. I got to get back to work. Life in a restaurant. Crazy busy. Work days, work mornings, work nights. Yeah, so we'll work more on this. Any other questions and stuff, just, find me on Pinside or come back tomorrow night. We'll talk about it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Enjoy it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.